I'm a tiny taggart in a brave new world, gonna free this town. If you didn't know about me already, well, you know it now.
Hi, I'm Objectivist Girl, and welcome to my channel if you haven't been here already. I'm sorry it's been so long since I've made a video, guys, but guess what I found? My whiteboard. So we're gonna have some fun with my whiteboard today as we go over chapters 16 through 6, because it goes from book 1 to book 2, so it starts recounting chapters. At the beginning of the 16th chapter marks the purge, where students are kicked out of school for past social standing. This sort of behavior is similar to the reaction that many occupiers have towards the old rich. A few, not all, are angered by the idea of inheritance. To this, you may ask, but why? Where should the money go instead? Many families hope to work to leave behind money for their children. Do you think that this is wrong? To say that this is wrong is to say that we shouldn't pay for our child's education or even their food. We must only use our money for ourselves. And then what happens to the rest? And what about the family heirlooms? This was a purchase with money. Should those not be passed down either? To be against inheritance is irrational at best, which is why you should buy Bitcoin, because you don't have a tax on this when you die and you can pass it along to your children. Victor joins the party in this chapter in the hopes of being able to keep his standing at the university and incur party favor. He aims to be among the elite. This is the thing about a socialist government. Everyone except the insiders starve. The party in power steals resources from the people and shuts down their businesses so that everyone who is not in favor of the party starves. It's the slow way to get rid of the enemy. Leo finds out that he has tuberculosis as well. With socialized medicine, Leo can't get the care that he needs. Getting tuberculosis with socialized medicine is a death sentence. Socialized medicine causes many talented doctors to stop practicing the profession and many potentially talented doctors to not pursue it. Normally, getting a degree for medicine is extremely time-consuming and expensive, and no one wants to pursue something that costs more money than it earns. Socialized medicine ensures care for every citizen, even if they can't pay. This means that doctors can make money with practicing medicine, and many talented doctors are motivated by money. There's nothing wrong with this. This is their value, and we must provide a proper value exchange to incentivize the very best to take on our medical care. In the next chapter, Andre confesses his love for Kira, and Kira knows that she must pretend to be in love with him to save Leo. She would sleep with him for money that was needed for Leo, because when you have nothing, like most people who were not part of the government didn't in Soviet Russia, you do whatever is necessary to keep yourself and those you love alive. There is no way to keep pride going in a country like this. So she told Leo she got the money from an uncle in Budapest. In the meantime, Uncle Vasily lost his job to back taxes, and Kira kept Andre happy while Leo was gone. When he returned, he was happy to see her, but was clearly upset that it was her taking care of him instead of the other way around. He felt guilty for leaving her to starve in Soviet Russia. The next morning, a woman named Tonya showed up. Leo had been neighbors with her in the Crimea while he was getting better, and Kira kept seeing Andre. A man named Morova, friends with Tonya, came to visit the house one evening and talked to Leo about starting a food business. Kira was not at all pleased. The men going into business with Leo wanted to put his life on the line, and they wanted to anonymously make money from the business without a threat of them getting in trouble with the GPU. Kira realizes that there is a death penalty for anyone that cohorts in illegal contracts, but this is the only way that someone who is not part of the party can make money in this time period. Meanwhile, Leo is getting very careless about this new job and money. He's spending it on very nice things. He's making Kira dress in flashy dresses. This is my flashy dress. And is buying flashy gifts for Victor's wedding. This sort of thing can get them in trouble because those who are not deep in the party don't have money. And if they did, it was assumed that they were doing something crooked to get it. At Victor's wedding, he makes a toast to his bride's father, who fought on the party side in the war. After the toast, the old man rises and says, "Listen here, you young whelps. I spent 4 years in Siberia. I spent them because I saw the people starved and ragged and crushed under a boot, and I asked for freedom. I still see the people starved and ragged and crushed under a boot, only the boot is red. I didn't go to Siberia and fight for a crazed, power-drunk, bloodthirsty gang that strangles the people as they never have been strangled before, that knows less of freedom than any czar ever did. Go ahead and drink all you want. Drink till you drown the last rag of conscience in your full brains. Drink to anything you wish, but when you drink to the Soviets, don't drink to me." This is one of my favorite parts of the book. This points out that socialization does not fix a country with levels of poverty. It makes it worse. The next chapter opens with a speech from the GPU about over-idealism. Over-idealism, which in today's speak is extremism. They assert that Lenin warned about it before his death and that it was far-sighted of him. However, Lenin knew the implications of what he was doing. He was plummeting the masses into poverty so that he and his chosen friends could live off wealth they never earned. He knew that the reaction, once people had lost enough from the revolution, would be to fight the communist movement, because he knew that this was no real attempt to help people, but to steal from them to help himself to the fruits of others' labor. The speech states that they were too idealistic to hope for complete communism, and that they have made many compromises for the overall good. This is laughable, and solid philosophy or political systems are well planned to sustain itself at its pinnacle. Otherwise, it needs to be revised and rethought. Never follow a philosophy that states that it will not work in total absolutism. Many people call this extreme, but these are the same people who stated that they could fix the broken system with minor changes and ended up making it worse. In the meantime, Irina is engaged to a counter-revolutionary, and Victor's family's bourgeoisie history is hurting his standing with the party, because in this country, who you associate with is absolutely everything. It determines whether you eat or not. Sonia has become pregnant with Surov's baby, and she forces him to marry her, for they have a duty to their future comrade. The last thing that happened in this section is a visit from Andrei's friend Stefan. Stefan had lost his job, and he knew he would be kicked out of the party with the purge. He also said that there was no way to save Andrei from the same fate. So we get a very nice, ominous message from Stefan at the end. As you can see from chapters 16 through 6, one of the biggest issues is money and the ownership of the money by the central government. If we were to have more decentralized currency, these kind of issues couldn't arise in countries, because it's all about who owns the money. Who owns the money owns the power. That is why we need to invest in cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. I hope you guys will consider investing in Bitcoin. It's very important for our country's future. Later this month, I'll be covering private versus public healthcare. I hope that you'll join me for my next video. And remember, guys, knowledge is not for all men, but for those who seek it. So keep seeking.